Jared is gone next episode.
Yeah.
Like, beginning of the episode, he's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought he was leaving at the end of this one. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Below Deckspert, a podcast that recaps current Below Deck seasons with two Midwest millennial siblings. I'm Morgan.
I'm Lane.
And today we're recapping Below Deck Season 11, Episode 6, Love Me Tender.
I don't get the name.
I mean, obviously it's a play on words with the tender, but I don't get it either.
That was like 5% of the episode.
I know, that's what I was thinking, with Sunny, like, gonna learn how to drive the tender.
Yeah. I don't know if they just like pre-planned the title and then edited differently, because all they do is take the tender out.
I know.
And you don't even see them driving it really, and then they come back.
And they didn't even eat any like chicken tenders or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know? Or tenderized any meat.
I mean, he might have, but we didn't see it.
Yeah.
And that doesn't even make sense either. I don't think they had any meat. It was
Well,
all
yeah, because
seafood.
she hates meat.
Yeah, it was seafood. I don't know. Below Deck. Give us a call if you need some help with that.
Did you see another Below Deck podcast? And I would call it out if I remembered what it was. I think it was Above Deck podcast. They posted memes of Tina and her or like dead face and being like, when Tina wins the lottery, or like stuff like that. You know?
Pretty good.
He hated her. Oh man, if you're just joining us for the first time, that's actually crazy if you are. But if you are, the way our episodes work is we start with two quick questions for each other based on this week's episode, because we don't watch them together. And then we get to the episode and we talk about a few main points throughout. We've been kind of bouncing around a lot more this season, but it's been okay.
The episodes have kind of been like that. They're just all over the place.
Yeah, like it. Yeah, so we've just been kind of going through the episode, obviously, and talking about it. The topics I have for today is these guests play volleyball and then leave, thank God. Mm-hmm. And then Jared's continued bad behavior. The main core of this episode was Jared.
For the most part, yeah.
For sure.
I mean, definitely the ending was crazy. There really wasn't much else going on. I mean, the whole Barbie Kyle?
No. Oh, Kyle's the
Yeah, sorry, I forgot his name for a second.
Fraser. The
There's a little bit there too, but then
yeah, there's just a little bit here and there. Like Kat, we'll talk about it. Obviously, Kat gets to go out and do that wakeboard thing with Captain, and Barbie's like working, and then Fraser and her have a little bit of a moment, which I have an opinion on.
yeah.
So that was just kind of like, I didn't feel like that was big enough to make it a topic of this episode, because it really wasn't much.
Yeah, you're right. There was really just two things and then little things here and there.
Yeah. Okay, coming out strong. The fact that Eileen blacked out the night before and then wakes up and wants champagne.
Yeah.
I'm being totally honest here. At 21, I couldn't have even well, I shouldn't say that. I could have done it at 21. Did I want to do it at 21 or ever? No.
Yeah.
Whenever you have to do that, which is rare, it's like when you're with your friends.
Oh, yeah.
It's miserable.
Well, the thing is, we sleep until noon, though.
That's true.
We go to bed at like 2.
Could you imagine staying up till 2, waking up at like 8 a.m., let's be generous, and then chugging like champagne?
Yeah, I've done it.
Well, I know, but like, you're not, first of all, you're still young. But like,
it would suck now.
That's the point I'm making is I'm 31, not Eileen's age. I'd die. I couldn't imagine being Eileen's age and then doing that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've done it, but in college, in a fraternity when all my other friends are doing it. I'm like, well, I guess I'll do it.
And it's like tailgating weekend or something. Yeah. Like something like...
Yeah, but even nowadays, like when my college friends visit, we sleep for like 12 hours and then just kind of sit around.
Eat breakfast.
Yeah, eat breakfast and then sit around and complain, drink 3 Gatorades and then start drinking again. And it still sucks. I still usually take that Monday off.
It's just like, wow. Also, maybe I said this last week, how embarrassing.
Yeah.
I'm still so stuck on like how embarrassing like your behavior would be. You literally slipped and fell face first into the hot tub. And just going to act like totally normal. Talking about how you're a D1 athlete.
Yeah. Like she ate it. She ate
and then she fell like 2 more times after that.
Yeah.
I guess I hate to be judgmental, I guess. I don't know her, but I do know that they were rude. And so I don't like them for that. And I think that that's just embarrassing behavior to not even be like, sorry, guys, like that was crazy.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, like, she's what, in her 50s, 40s?
50s or no, I wouldn't say 40s. I'd say 50s.
We'll say between 40 and 60.
Okay, that's probably generous.
There's just no way you don't have a problem if you're able to do that.
I know.
If you're able to black out when you're that age.
And then drink champagne at breakfast.
Well, and then be alive the next day.
I know.
That takes practice.
Oh my God. I remember when, I've told, I think, this story before. Me and my friend Kara got drunk the day before New Year's. So it was like December 30th. Mm-hmm. And then for New Year's Eve, I stayed in and slept on the couch. Like,
yeah.
I was like, I can't, even for New Year's Eve, I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially with hard alcohol. Yeah. There's a reason I rarely ever drink hard alcohol.
No. Yeah.
It sucks.
I said, these guests suck. They sucked so bad. But now they're taking them to play a volleyball game. And according to Eileen, she played in the Big Ten. And after watching them play, she most definitely did not.
Yeah. Might have been like the water girl or something.
Because I was going to give her the benefit of the doubt. I was like, I'll watch her form, like I know. When I saw her underhand serve, I was like, no.
Oh, she underhand served?
Yes.
Even I know how to do overhand.
Right. And I was like, okay, I could see myself, again, I'm putting myself in her shoes of being a former volleyball player in, let's say, 50s. I'm still overhand serving, God willing.
And you can even like just hit it with this part of your hand.
Yeah.
So it just bounces up instead of like, you guys kind of slap it, right?
Yeah. I guess the only thing I'm thinking too now is like maybe I'm being a little overcritical because it was just like a fun volleyball game. Maybe she was like, oh,
But still, my go-to would be to hit it with this. And you
Yeah.
just kind of pop it up there.
Yeah.
Instead of doing that and getting made fun of by your sister. Anyways.
Hey, I'll never make fun of anybody that serves a ball in.
Yeah.
That's it. All you got to do is get it in. If you miss, that's when I'm judging you.
Yeah.
So it's funny. I hate these guests, obviously, but the volleyball game was like Illinois versus Iowa. Mm-hmm. And we don't know where they're from in Iowa. They never said.
I just don't like many people from Iowa.
Really?
I'm going to be honest. Name one person you like from Iowa.
Lauren. My friend Lauren.
Besides Lauren.
And Jimmy.
Besides Jimmy.
From Iowa.
I didn't know
my
they
friend
were from
Micah.
Iowa. She's from Iowa too?
Yeah, she lives like dead center Iowa, like in the middle of nowhere. I'm trying to think of other people from like the Quad Cities or college. I mean, I don't hate everybody from Iowa. Would I ever want to live there? No.
I think what I'm I guess referring to in my head is a lot of people my age that went to University of Iowa.
Oh yeah.
Are just like stuck up. And,
Those are different kinds of people though. Like even we're getting a little bit off topic, but whatever.
yeah, when don't we?
Even when I was in high school, I never understood. I had a lot of people that went to University of Iowa, which where we live, actually, University of Iowa is closer to us than the University of Illinois by like.
Is it really?
Yeah, by like I'd say an hour, maybe 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
So that's understandable that like, yeah, it's not as far. It was like double the price.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're out of state.
Yeah.
I never understood. Oh my God, I'm going to Iowa. I can't wait. I'm like, why? First of all, it's just the University of Iowa. It's like not that cool. Like go to like fucking California
Go to
if you're
like
going to spend the
FSU
money.
or something. Yeah.
But
you're gonna spend that type of money.
but yeah, that people were kind of stuck up about it. Like I'm going to Iowa. Like it's this prestigious thing. And we're like, okay.
Just an overpriced university.
Yeah. And technically not as prestigious as U of I, University of Illinois.
Yeah.
Anywho, they were Team Chicago versus the Iowa Crop Tops, which I was like, okay, I'll give them that. It's kind of good. And then they did like the beach picnic. Did we even see? I might have been like zoning out.
Yeah, I have an opinion on that.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me find exactly what I wrote down.
Opinion on like the beach picnic?
Yes.
Okay.
Mahi mahi tacos are too good for these people. You have to be a good person to be able to eat those, you assholes.
I didn't even pick up on the food.
Well, I did because mahi mahi is my favorite fish.
That's true.
And those assholes didn't deserve it.
That's true. They didn't deserve any.
No.
anything that's on this boat, honestly. They didn't deserve Barbie or Fraser. They didn't deserve any of them.
No.
But Jared does say Illinois.
Yeah, I have that written down too. And like, it shouldn't annoy me, but it kind of does. Because it's like, you don't call Utah. Like,
That's true.
Figure it out. You have 50 that you have to learn how to say.
I know. I'm trying to think of another state that has similar to us.
A lot of people say Naperville instead of Naperville.
Oh, God.
Which, like, screw them. I don't care.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying to think of another state. What's another state people get messed up? Honestly, like none of them like Illinois.
Yeah. I mean, some people say Joliet versus
Oregon
Joliet.
versus Oregon.
Yeah.
Is it Oregon?
Pretty
It's definitely Oregon, not Oregon.
Pretty sure.
That's another one. What's next? Oh, this was before they actually went to the volleyball game. But I don't know if it was Eileen. It wasn't Eileen. It was a different guest. Went to Fraser and she's like, "Sorry for the bad behavior last night." Or was it Eileen? One of the guests said, like, "Sorry for the bad behavior." And Fraser goes, "Oh my God, what bad behavior?" And I was like, "Girl, good on you." Because I would be like, "Yeah, you're forgiven." Like, or
Yeah, I'm
like,
glad
"Yeah,
you're leaving
thanks for
soon."
apologizing."
Yeah.
Like, I would not be able to like, "What bad behavior, girl?" No, I couldn't do it. So
Yeah.
good on you. That's why I don't do it.
That's one of those where you're like, I accept your apology, but leave.
Please leave. Yeah. And then when they're like driving away, Barbie's like, "Bye, don't come back."
Yeah.
I was like, I get it. I freaking get it. So then Captain talks to, who does he talk to where he's like, "We're the assholes regardless, so I'd rather be a safe asshole." Do you remember him saying that? Talking about like safety.
I believe it was Jared talking about how Eileen fell.
Okay, that's what I was trying to. Yeah, so he
Or no,
or was it?
it was
Ben?
Barbie.
See, now I don't remember.
It was I'm pretty sure it was Barbie because he was talking about how
water
to
the drinks down.
to water the drinks down.
Yep. Which is absolutely The only time what sucks is when you can't like champagne and wine. Because like if you think about it, the most dangerous drink on something like that to give somebody is like a bunch of wine or a bunch of champagne because it's double the alcohol content of like beer, and you can't water it down.
Yeah.
I mean, you could maybe throw a splash of water in a glass of wine, but
Yeah. I don't know. That's because I have something written down where like in college we had to enforce no liquor in the house
yeah.
because of how badly people were treating themselves.
Well, yeah, like you get one person that's like, "I'll chug this bottle," and somebody goes, "You won't," and then they do, you're done. Like that person's gonna die. Not actually die, hopefully, but like
Yeah.
be puking everywhere.
I saw a few people get close though.
I know, for real.
And a lot of ambulance rides.
Oh God.
It was so annoying too because they would chug like a fifth of Jack Daniels and then we'd have to call the ambulance. They're like, "Why didn't anyone drive me?" Like, well, none of us were sober either, but we were drinking beer.
Right. Yeah. None of us
Yeah.
were sober, number one. Number two, I don't really want you like throwing up all over my car and being like crazy in the car.
Well, yeah, and you just don't know what someone who's blacked out and
is gonna
struggling enough to drink a whole fifth of something. Like, they might swerve you off the road.
Yep.
Who knows?
Yeah, for real.
Or they might fight you the whole time. I've seen that happen.
Yeah. Speaking of like the end of the episode, Jared.
Oh, yeah.
That's the vibe it gave me, where if I were Barbie, I would have been a little bit scared. Just because he wasn't giving up.
And, I mean, that's respectable, but she didn't seem scared.
No.
But-
Neither one of them did.
But it would be smart for her to act the way she did
Right.
instead of be like, "Get out, like, I'm
Right.
scared." Because then it's a whole different situation.
Yeah. He gave me a true like, whoa. But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Positive note, I love Chef and Fraser's relationship.
Yeah, I do too.
They are so sweet. You can tell they're like genuine friends. I really like Chef.
I think they're to the point where they're like, they just seem like really, really close friends that talk about anything.
Yeah. And I mean, we'll get there maybe later or whatever, but Chef talks about how it's the 2-year anniversary of his dad dying. And he's like struggling a little bit, and Fraser just makes sure to go in and be like, "Hey buddy, I'm thinking of you. Like, I'm here if you need me." And I'm like, that's just awesome for like someone to know like, hey, I'm just here and I'm acknowledging that you might be struggling a little bit today. Like that just means a lot. And I loved that he was there for him like that.
Yeah, that was really cool. Like first thing in the morning, he goes and gives him a hug.
Yeah.
And just to know that like Chef doesn't seem like the type of person to be dramatic about it or even say anything about it really. But it was cool to see that.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
friendship there.
Yeah, I like that. And then another thing on the positive note, I love Captain. I'm just saying it. He's past Captain Sandy for me.
He's getting getting close.
Him and Jason are still like tied in my mind so far. But like what I like about him and Captain Jason, and I may have said this before, is they're so hands-on. And I'm not saying Captain Sandy isn't. Obviously, I like love her too. But like they're like, okay, I noticed this person's struggling a little bit. Like Captain noticed Kat. This is what I'm getting at. Noticed Kat's feels like a little bit of an outsider, might be struggling a little bit. And he's like, hey, like, let's go do this wakeboard thing. And I'm just like, that means so much to people. And like, if he makes sure to kind of make that fair, then like, that's like the perfect thing you can do. Like, hey, like with Barbie, because Barbie was a little bit salty about it because she obviously had to keep working while Kat was doing something fun. But if Captain's like, you know, just notices that then and tells Barbie, hey, like you can get off an hour earlier or whatever this day, or like
everyone will cover you, go shop for an hour in
exactly,
town, or just something like that.
Yep.
And you just can't do all of that in one day.
No.
Because then no one's on the fucking
right,
boat.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think he'll continue to do stuff like that.
Because even with Sunny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, go out and, you know, get taught how to drive the tender.
Yeah.
Do stuff like that. And I think in Sandy's defense, I think they give her more difficult people.
Or it's the luck of the draw type thing.
True.
Right? Like,
yeah.
I think she's had seasons. I mean, Sandy's been on for what, 8 seasons now?
I think so, yeah.
Close, right around there. Like, she's had good seasons and bad ones, and times where things went way better than other seasons. Like, I guess I can't compare, you know, I can't compare Captain Sandy's 8 seasons to Captain Carey's 1, but,
well, 2.
I do think that their managing styles are different though. I do think Captain Sandy does keep to herself a little bit more, which again is not, I'm not saying that that's wrong. It's just a different style.
Yeah.
So, what else we talked about? I guess my next thing was, Kat being able to go do that. I think that she really liked that. And then we kind of start building up Jared's demise. Maybe that's a very dramatic word, but they're just like
a good word for it though.
Yeah, they're like constantly, you know, oh, it's been 2 weeks since Jared talked to his daughter. He tried texting his ex. I guess they're exes. And she doesn't answer because it's too late. Like they're like building up that like that's annoying him. I do not want this to sound like judgmental. It's a genuine. Oh, we didn't ask each other our questions.
I think you asked one.
Did I? Because I don't think I did. Okay, wait. I'll finish my thought and then we'll do the questions.
Okay.
I think he's making it so much more difficult than it has to be.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like Captain Carey, if you went to him and said, hey, I can only talk to my daughter at this time. Can I have 30 minutes? I'll leave Ben in charge. He's more than capable.
Oh, yeah.
My opinion is it's lack of planning on his part and lack of like, I guess just planning. Yeah. Like
it's what is that phrase? Not deprecation.
It's
right on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah. Why can't I think of it either?
It's like when you set yourself up to fail.
Right. Yeah. But I know the word you're thinking of and I can't think of it either.
It'll hit me.
That's the secret word. If you know what word we're talking about, that's the secret word. But that's my opinion on it is like, I'm not saying like, oh, he's faking it. Like, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying he's making it more difficult on himself than it needs to be. Because I guarantee if he's like, hey, Captain, I can only talk to my daughter at this time, Captain would be like, we'll make it work, make sure everything's covered, and that's when you take your break or whatever. I guess I just don't.
Well, Captain already said that, too.
Right.
And he just didn't take him up on it.
Right. So that's my take on that part. But I guess my question literally goes with this thought. So this is perfect. I said, my question to you is Captain giving Jared too much grace? Not in just this instance. I'm not saying that he shouldn't let him call his daughter. I'm saying in general. Like with the drinking and...
I think it's more dependent on that he's a bosun. Because it seems very hard to get higher level crew after the season starts.
Yeah, but they have Ben. And Captain knows he has Ben.
Yeah, but then it's hard to get lower level ones, too.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen the amount of turnover in past seasons.
That's a good point. I guess I never thought of that. I guess I'm, taking the easy way out of being like... Well, I think, and we'll get to this, I don't think Jared's going to last very much longer because he's given him this many chances. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, prediction here. But no, my prediction is that Jared is gone next episode.
Yeah.
Like, beginning of the episode, he's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought he was leaving at the end of this one.
I think if we had 5 more minutes, he would have.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, so, let's see if we're getting basically to the end. Well, not really. I guess I don't want to jump ahead. Okay, what's your question for me?
My question, I think this almost, well, we'd be skipping over dinner, but if you had a bingo card that you could fill out for this season, would you have put on that bingo card that Barbie was married and still technically married?
No.
Didn't see that one coming.
No, that's like where we were basically in the next
Yeah.
part of the episode. That's funny. We did the questions at the perfect time. We didn't even plan that.
Yeah.
No, I would not. Well, Zandy was also married.
Yeah.
And she's divorced, but
And what was it? Her mom was having an affair with his dad?
Yeah, hold on, I have it. Hold on.
I could have that switched, but it was very similar to that.
Let's see. Her dad and his mom had an affair. What the fuck? That would suck. That ruins so much.
Because it wasn't really even your fault.
No.
You know?
No, but how do you come back from that?
You can't. You got to wash your hands of that.
You do. And what sucks is, do you wash your hands of your family too? Your parents? Or
Yeah.
I guess your parent. The other parent didn't do anything, supposedly, but
Yeah.
that's tough. Yeah. You have to wash your hands basically of your husband and his family. Well, I guess you don't have to. You have to wash your hands of those parents. If you want to stay with your husband, you have to kind of like...
You're losing some facet of your family.
Yes, that's basically
depending
the point.
on the situation and who did what and who caused the most problems.
Yeah. Okay, one more point before we kind of get to them. Actually, we got to talk about dinner. The last night's dinner too.
Yeah.
But we get that little point of Fraser getting a little irritated with Barbie. Do you know what I'm talking about? So Fraser basically says Barbie was sassy and she doesn't respect authority from that one kind of comment she made. I forget what the comment was, but it was basically like, well, my chief usually tells me to do that or tells me what to do.
Well, yeah, she was like, man, I suck at this. And I think she was referring to folding the napkins. Mm-hmm. She's like, yeah, I'm used to having a chief stew tell me how to do it or what to do. And it didn't really seem like snarky or anything.
Okay, that was going to be my question to you because I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like I am Team Barbie and not Team Fraser because I like them both a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't think she was being sassy. I think he's a little bit hypersensitive to her.
I think he is because of the last season he was on.
Yes, and they do flash back to that, and I get that. So I think I absolutely agree. But I feel bad for Barbie because I think she's working her butt off, And I don't think she meant anything by that comment at all.
I think that was a Fraser's tired, stressed out, needs something to lash out on.
Yeah.
Barbie's head poked up a little bit.
I know.
Yeah.
It just sucked because I'm like, literally, I don't think she meant anything by that. And she immediately said it too. She's like, oh, no, no, no.
Yeah, and he still like stormed off.
Yeah.
But like she's actively trying to get on his good side in a genuine way.
I know. And it's like, oh, like I don't want to ruin that because
I know. And she's just getting better and better of like keeping her mouth shut a little bit more. That sounded bad, but like putting a better filter on.
yes.
Is what I mean.
Right. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
you don't have to say everything that comes to your mind.
Yeah.
So I know I was like a little bit like, ugh. And then, so now we're to dinner.
Yeah.
And they made that Barbie was talking to the guests at dinner about how something about Trump. What did she say?
Oh, so she was asked a question about vodka, and she was like, we have this vodka and this vodka.
Oh, yes.
And they're like, oh, that's a salesman
salesman.
answer because you didn't answer the question, yada yada. And she's like, yeah, I worked in the mall selling hair straighteners and a couple other things, or like golf balls at a golf course.
Yes, yeah.
And then she's like, yeah, I traded stocks on Wall Street in the Trump building. And they're like,
And I was like, okay, this is the only we are not talking about politics on this podcast.
No.
It's not worth it. It never is. And we are not going to give our opinions or whatever, but this is my objective observation of this episode specifically. You can't tell me they don't love Trump.
I was going to say that, but I'm like, it's going to sound a little different coming from my mouth than yours. But yeah, there's no fucking way.
So they kind of like made it like cricket noises.
Yeah,
but I was like,
bullshit.
you know why they made it cricket noises? Because those guests were like, oh, hell yeah.
Like, hell yeah, brother. Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to say about that.
I was
Editing
not
did
gonna
their
bring
job
that up,
there.
but I caught that too. Yeah.
I was like, that was definitely not the reaction that they had.
And you just know it was because they
Yes.
have so much footage of just even the guests that they can just put 4 seconds
Right.
of them sitting there looking at a camera.
Right.
Not hard. Yeah, they were pumped.
Yeah. All right. On that note, let's get into what they had for dinner.
So we actually skipped a dinner. Do you want me to go through
we
all
did?
of it? Yeah.
We had 2 dinners this episode? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Let's go through the first one then because I missed it. I'm bad at taking notes for this show, honestly.
So we had truffle oil pizza.
I don't remember that at all.
They were both kind of quick.
Okay.
Especially this one. I don't think I'm out of order.
I don't think I would like truffle oil pizza.
Yeah, it's essentially like very earthy. That's what the oil tastes like, but apparently it pairs well with meats and cheeses, which makes sense to put it on a pizza. Mm-hmm. And then mushroom cappuccino.
I did see that and I was like, ew. And this is exactly why I would put no mushrooms on my preference sheet. There is a lot I'd be open to trying. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
But if you were to serve me truffle oil pizza and a mushroom cappuccino, I'd be like, ew. And I would not be happy.
Well, it's because Tina is vegetarian.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
That would be the worst too.
But yeah, it's basically like a cold soup.
Ugh.
You just make regular soup and then make it cold.
No.
And I'm good.
I'm good.
And then there was, I'm going to butcher this,
Oh no.
fettuccine alla vongole. I know I said that wrong, but
What
it's
is it?
clam pasta,
Okay.
which is essentially you make pasta and then you put clams in it.
Yeah. I'm
There's-
also good.
I mean, I'd try it, but I wouldn't be like super amped about it.
Yeah. Ugh. Ooh, you know what's another thing I'd say on my preference sheet that we haven't talked about? Cucumber.
I could take it or leave it.
But cucumber is one of those things that like I don't feel as repulsed by as like mushrooms and onions. But there is not one dish I've had where I'm like, yeah, I could tolerate the cucumber in that. I always pick it out.
I don't mind it in a salad, but that's about it.
No, see, I can't. So cucumber would have to be on my list too.
And we didn't skip a dinner. I just accidentally labeled the crew dinner as dinner. So we're good. We're on track.
Okay, so that was their dinner.
Yep.
Okay. Was that it? Well, there was a dessert, which I have. But was that all the normal food?
I think so.
Yeah. So boring. Oh, my God. I'm not talking shit about vegans and vegetarians, but what a life. I need meat. So the dessert was, and I'm going to butcher this, a mille feuillet. That's my best.
Sounds all right.
That's my best. It was raspberry, right?
I love how we talk shit like, don't say Illinois, and then we butcher their food.
This is French, okay? It's different. It's also known by the name Napoleon in North America. So it's a Napoleon here, which...
That sounds like a drink.
Well, Napoleon ice cream, that's what I refer to as like Napoleon. Do you know what Napoleon ice cream is?
Mm-mm.
It's vanilla chocolate strawberry, which I never understood as a kid. I was like, no, you do not mix those flavors. You could mix like 2 out of the 3 together, but not all 3 in my mind.
I feel like I was the type of kid I would take the scoop and just go across the whole thing.
See, we are so different. We are complete opposites. I would have eaten each section by itself.
Nah.
Anywho, that is not what we're talking about. This Napoleon is a vanilla slice. Oh, it's called a vanilla slice in the United Kingdom as well. And custard slice is a French dessert made of puff pastry layered with pastry cream. And on this specific one, they had raspberry. I would have eaten that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I would have been
I kind of spaced out, but I'd eat it.
For sure. Okay. What else? So then basically the docking doesn't go well? Or does it? I don't. Jared doesn't know how to call meters.
Yeah, he has had a long time to figure it out and teach himself and do the conversion or just learn meters or, be a fucking bosun.
Or, oh God, what did I just press? Hopefully this is still on.
I think that might have been me.
What? No, I pressed something when I moved this. I thought I might have turned the mic off, but I'm good.
Yeah, if you can still hear yourself, you're good.
But he was a captain too. Like, I'm so confused.
Yeah.
I'm always so confused when we get these bosuns who are like, I've been a bosun for this long. I was a lead deckhand for this long. I was a captain on a small boat. And then they don't know anything. I'm like, what is happening? How do you get to where you are?
I know. Like, I could be the captain of a pontoon boat. I don't need to know meters for that.
That's true, I guess.
I'm not putting that on my resume.
Yeah, whatever. He basically just doesn't know how to call meters. The guests are like, we'll be back. And I was like, no, you won't.
No, the fuck you won't.
Bye. You are never coming back. Well, I shouldn't say that.
They'll probably. Who knows?
They're drama, so they'll probably be back.
I don't know. It seems like they only bring back, like, lovable people.
Well, the one that comes to my mind is the one that...
The rock star?
Well, yeah, but they were okay. They weren't like super belligerent. They were at times, but like not normally. But the other one was, again, I don't know that you know this because I don't know if you've watched the older original Below Deck, the one we're watching, where there was he's a gay man who brings like other gay guys with him. And then he's been on like a few seasons and Kate made him like a penis towel and put it on the bed.
I remember that, yeah.
They've had him back like multiple times and he's not super likable, but he's also not like these guests.
Yeah.
Anywho, we'll see if they make it back, but I think that you can be
stupid. Sorry. Yeah, it was a rocket ship. Shut the fuck up.
I was like, Kate, just own up to it.
At that point, just
own up to it and be like, sorry. Like,
yeah.
It was a rash decision.
It's a penis.
It's a rocket ship. That's so funny, though, that she stuck to that. So good.
Even in her interview, she's like, I don't know what they're talking about. It's a rocket ship. But before she got caught, she's like, I'm going to put a dick on his bed. I'm like, all right, we have the tapes.
$26,000, though, they tipped well. So,
yeah.
I mean, at least. I was betting this was not going to be a good tip.
Well, they did a good job. It was nothing wrong on the crew side.
No, but I could just see these people not tipping well.
Yeah.
Because they're assholes. So now to they had girls and guys night.
Mm-hmm.
Girls night, they talk about being married, which we've already talked about.
Yeah.
But girls night goes fine, right? No issues.
Yeah.
Okay. Guys night.
Fraser and Jared.
Poor Fraser did not
Fraser, sorry.
Yes, you're right. Fraser. Fraser.
Fraser.
Taser. He didn't even do anything.
Yeah.
He literally was just like, hey, Chef's been like working his butt off. Like, let's try to help him out more. And Jared's like, oh, so you're saying I don't help him out? I stay up 2 hours later.
I stay up 2 hours after I'm supposed to.
And Ben was like, bro, that's literally not what he's saying at all. Like, he didn't even say it was anybody specific. He was just like, hey, let's all try to help him out because he's working and he doesn't sleep a lot.
Yeah, it was just more of like, hey, if you have 15 minutes, go do some dishes. Like,
or I've said this before, like, so if you see someone working really, really hard, and again, if Chef's not getting a lot of sleep, first of all, he's not even complaining about it.
No.
Fraser's just being like, hey, like, he's
trying to get ahead of it.
He's not going to ask us, so, like, let's try to help him out.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jared immediately is like, what are you saying? I'm not doing it?
Yeah, he's got some type of complex.
He does. Yeah, he's having issues. What else? I kind of, like, spaced out here at the end because it was just kind of a lot at one time.
Can I say something real quick about last episode? I forgot to tell you about this, but the whole second half of the episode, my finger was itchy for some reason, and I was doing this to the camera, and I'm like, I had to blur it out and say like, sorry, didn't mean to do that.
That's funny.
Anyways, we were going into the night out, right?
Yes. Well, we were already talking about like girls' night and guys' night. Mm-hmm. So then they meet back up at the boat, right?
Well, they go to dinner.
They go to dinner all together?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, do they?
No, I thought that was girls' night and guys' night, and then they meet back up at the boat and do like the hot tub and stuff.
You might be right, but they do like dance at the bar for a little bit.
Okay.
But
so
really
maybe
nothing happens, I don't think.
Yeah.
Kat
then they get in the hot tub.
But that's about it.
Kat calls what?
Kat calls her friend and is like, I'm being myself, but I'm just not fitting in.
I know. And I do feel for Kat. We've been a little bit critical of her. And do I think she's the hardest worker? No. Do I think Barbie works harder than her? Yes. But I do feel for her. Like, I do feel like she's not an outcast, but I can see where she's coming from, where she just doesn't feel like she's clicking with anybody.
Yeah. Well, her and...
She's got Zandy, though.
Yeah, Zandy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they seem somewhat close.
Yeah, and I think she's being critical of herself, which, makes
I think
sense.
it's more of that rather than, like, what they want it to portray as, like, everyone's, staying away from her, but I think she's just being more critical, like,
of herself.
They're not going to want to be my friends. Why should I try?
Yes, exactly. One note before we get into basically the end of what happens with Kyle and Jared. I said, damn, Kyle is progressive. He tried being bi and then he just discovered he wasn't. I was like, good for you, girl.
I didn't fully understand that because of his accent, but I thought he was joking. But
no, I think he was legit. He's like, no, I tried
legit.
being gay and just wasn't my thing. Like, good for you.
I know. Like, the first episode, they made him out to be such an asshole.
And he's like the most progressive one on this boat.
Like one of the coolest guys there.
Him and Barbie are sleeping in the same bunk every night. He's not being weird at all.
They're just hanging out.
I know. Yeah. I love him, actually. I was going to be critical of him, too. But I love him now.
Yeah.
I really do.
I mean, yeah, we talked about it, I think, an episode or two ago, but like, when Barbie said that she liked Jared, he's like, yeah, I kind of liked her, but, I'm going to let them do their thing.
Right.
See what happens. And I'm like...
Well, now she, like, doesn't like him at all.
Like, where did that come from? And, like, every single time he could be a dick.
Yeah, he's just a nice guy.
That he's a nice guy.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And they're sharing a bunk again, and he's just in the bed, or in the bottom, and she's in the top.
He's just hanging out.
I love it.
Just hanging out, not doing anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, then what happens? Set us up for the last.
So.
Because at first I didn't fully understand. But...
So before they go down to the bunks, Jared's getting mad that there's tobacco on the ground. And Kyle's basically like, dude, I'm sorry it spilled. I'll clean it up. Don't worry about it. Mm-hmm. But Jared is just progressively getting more and more pissed about it.
Yeah.
And he's like, and I've seen this before, where just a really, really drunk and angry guy just goes around and being
nitpicks
like,
things.
Why is that fucking pan there?
Yep.
It's like, dude, it's drying. We washed it an hour ago. Relax.
Right.
And it's just stuff like that. And he just gets more and more pissed off. And then he's cleaning, but he's hammered, making a bunch of noise. And then he finally goes into Barbie's room where Kyle is, yells at him, tells him, I'm only going to tell you once. You need to go and clean that up. I tried. It's wet. Blah, 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 blah. And I don't think Kyle does.
No, I don't think he does. But I think in Kyle's mind, he's going to do it in the morning.
Yeah. I mean,
they're not picking these guests up at 7 a.m. Like, they're going to get up and work for a few hours before they pick these guests up.
well, yeah. And like, I kind of get the whole thing with Jared. Like, if Captain wakes up before Kyle, Captain's going to go to Jared and say, why is all this shit on the deck? I get it.
Yeah.
But it's also the night after a party.
Yeah. So here's what should have happened. If that bothered Jared, he should have went to Kyle and said, hey, don't do this again. Whatever.
Mm.
And left it. But the issue comes where he basically like tells him 3 different times how mad he is. Mm-hmm. Goes up and gets mad about it again. Comes back down and says, I'm going to talk to you. Let's go talk. And I think Kyle handled it in the best way he could have, because telling him no would have made him even more angry. Mm-hmm. But in Kyle's mind, in all of ours, we're like, Jared's being a drunk asshole right now, and he's not even going to make any sense.
Well, and you're even like, if I was in Kyle's shoes, my first thought is like, this doesn't matter unless he hits me or something.
Right.
Because he's going to wake up and either not remember it, I'm going to tell him and he's going to feel bad, or he's going to wake up, remember it, and apologize. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if Jared didn't apologize, but you never know. He could be like, well, he needed to clean it up. It was going to come back on me. Mm-hmm. But not the time or the place.
Anyway, they go talk at the table. Jared's not making any sense. Look, this comes back on. Whatever. I don't even remember what he said. But then he's basically yelling, and Captain hears him, and then Captain comes down.
And it was the most like, oh shit.
Yeah.
When they're talking, the camera zooms up, and Captain's just like, I can hear you 2 floors up. Shut up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa.
I know. And I'm glad he did, because it's like, come on, bro. Like, yeah. So your prediction is Jared's not making it. I definitely saw that coming. I'm surprised he made it this far, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And then I don't think Kat's making it much farther either. Unfortunately.
I think Jared's gonna get fired. I think Kat's gonna quit.
Yeah.
Other than that, they're kind of wild cards.
They are. Supposedly a lot happens. Like, we had a listener comment, and it's like, that was my comment. It was another, like, people that like cover Bravo or Below Deck. So, I mean, like I said last week, like, I could see it happening, but as far as we can see right now, Kat and Jared are the ones that are like, probably going to leave the first. So.
Yeah, and Kat just doesn't really need to, because no one's like Barbie's kind of annoyed with her, but if Kat was just like, hey, I'm trying my best, let me help me out a little, like, gives out the olive branch. Mm-hmm. Is that the saying?
Extends the olive branch.
Is that it? But she's just not doing that, and she just seems kind of snarky in her producer interviews where she got asked to go out on I think it's called an e-foil, is what Captain called it. The
hoverboard thing, yeah.
And in her interview, she's like, it's kind of funny that Barbie's pissed that I get to go out and do that.
I know.
Don't act like that.
I know.
Don't act like that, and you'll make friends.
Yeah, like, I don't think Barbie's too happy I got to go out and do that. Like, come on. Yeah, that's why people don't like you. You can't make that stuff. You can't make those comments.
You can't say that shit.
So, yeah. So that we'll see what happens. Basically, next week is going to start off with Captain and Jared and Kyle, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So, what's the secret word? The word we were thinking of earlier?
Yeah, it's self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage, that's the word?
Yeah.
You made it.
Really positive word of the week.
Self-sabotage. We haven't said this in a while, but it really helps us if you keep liking the videos, keep commenting, keep subscribing, tell your friends. It just helps with more people like seeing our video on their feeds. Yeah. We're trying to be more active on Instagram and TikTok. I will at least post 1 video a week, like when we drop the video on Friday. So if you want to go follow those, it's just like at Below Dexperts on everything, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And also like leave us a review if you are so inclined. that also helps us as well. So especially if you're listening on a podcast player.
Yeah. I mean, just the littlest things really help with the algorithm just to help us grow. Like
Yeah.
a like goes a long way.
Yep.
A comment saying like, hi,
Yep.
that goes a long way.
Yep.
And just thank you guys so much.
Yep, absolutely. And truly, like, it doesn't have to be a lot because I'm not a commenter either. It takes a lot for me to comment on a video.
Yeah.
But a like, a subscribe. If you listen to us on YouTube, like, go subscribe to us on whatever you listen to your podcasts on. Even if you don't listen to us podcast wise, like or vice versa. If you just listen to us on podcasts, you want to go subscribe to the YouTube and you don't even watch YouTube, anything helps.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much. And we're excited to keep going with this season. I don't even know if we're halfway. Probably not even halfway.
Yeah.
So we're in it for the long haul, and we will see you guys next week.
We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.